नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 23. Sattvam Rajah Tamaha Iti Prakritéhe Gunaha Tai Yuktah Paraha Purushaha Ekaha Iha Asya Dhate Sthitiadaye Hari Virinchi Hara Iti Samyaha Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattvam Tanoho Nirnam Syuhu Sattvam Rajastama Iti Prakrite Gunater.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Yukta Para Purusha Eki Hasya Dhate.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu. Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakrite Gunaste.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhate.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Sthityadaye Hari Virinchi Hareti Samyaha.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu.
Shreyansi Tatra Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu. Sattvam goodness. Rajaha passion. Tamaha the darkness of ignorance. Iti thus. Prakritehe of the material nature. Gunaha qualities. They by them. Yuktaha,
Yuktaha,
associated with.
associated with.
Paraha,
Paraha,
transcendental.
transcendental.
Purushaha,
Purushaha,
the personality.
the personality.
Ekaha,
Ekaha,
one.
one.
Iha asya,
Iha asya,
of this material world.
of this material world.
Dhate,
Dhate,
accepts.
accepts.
Sthiti adaye,
Sthiti adaye,
for the matter of creation, maintenance and destruction, etc.
for the matter of creation, maintenance and destruction, etc.
Hari,
Hari,
Vishnu,
Vishnu,
the personality of Godhead.
the personality of Godhead.
Viringchi,
Virinchi,
Brahma,
Brahma,
Hara,
Hara,
Lord Shiva,
Lord Shiva.
Iti,
Iti,
thus,
Thus,
Samnyaha,
Samyaha,
different features.
different features.
Shreyansi,
Shreyansi,
ultimate benefit.
ultimate benefit.
Tatra,
Tatra,
therein.
therein.
Khalu,
Kalau,
of course.
of course.
Sattva,
Sattva,
goodness.
goodness.
Tanoho,
Tanoh,
form.
form.
Nirnam,
Nirnam,
of the human being.
of the human being.
Syuhu,
Syuhu,
derived.
derived.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. And just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction, he accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness. Purport: that Lord Sri Krishna by his plenary paths should be rendered devotional service, as explained above, is confirmed by this statement. Okay. Lord Sri Krishna and all his plenary paths are Vishnu Tattva, or the Lordship of Godhead. From Sri Krishna, the next manifestation is Baladev. From Baladev is Shankarshan. From Shankarshan is Narayana. And from Narayana there is the second Shankarshan. And from this Shankarshan, the Vishnu Purusha avatars. The Vishnu, or the deity of the quality of goodness in the material world, is the Purusha avatar known as Shirodakshai Vishnu, or Paramatma. Brahma is the deity of Rajas, passion, and Shiva of ignorance. They are the three departmental heads, the three qualities of this material world. Creation is made possible by the goodness of Vishnu, and when it requires to be destroyed, Lord Shiva does it by the Tandava and Nritya. The materialists and the foolish human beings worship Brahma and Shiva respectively, but the pure transcendentalists worship the form of goodness, Vishnu, in his various forms. Vishnu is manifested by his millions and billions of integrated forms and separated forms. The integrated forms are called Godhead, and the separated forms are called the living entities or the Jivas. Both the Jivas and the Godhead have their original spiritual forms. Jivas are sometimes subjected to the control of material energy, but the Vishnu forms are always controllers of this energy. When Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, appears in the material world, he comes to deliver the conditioned living beings who are under the material energy. Such living beings appear in the material world with the intention of being lords. Thus they become entrapped by the three modes of nature. As such, the living entities have to change their material coverings for undergoing different terms of imprisonment. The prison house of the material world is created by Brahma under instruction of the personality of Godhead, and at the conclusion of a kalpa, the whole thing is destroyed by Shiva. But as far as maintenance of the prison house is concerned, it is done by Vishnu, as much as the state prison house is maintained by the state. Anyone therefore who wishes to get out of this prison house of material existence, which is full of miseries like repetition of birth and death, disease and old age, must please Lord Vishnu for such liberation. Lord Vishnu is worshipped by devotional service only, and if anyone has to continue present life in the material world, he may ask for relative facilities for temporary relief from the different demigods like Shiva, Brahma, and Indra, Varuna. No demigod, however, can release the imprisoned living being from the conditional life of material existence. This can be done only by Vishnu. Therefore, the ultimate benefit may be derived from Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaura Vani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyadi Paschata Desha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakritir Gunaster Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Dhatte Sthiti Adaye Hari Virinchi Hari Sangyaha Shriyamsi Tatra Khalu Sattvam Tanu Nirnam Syuhu. Translation: the transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. Just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction. He accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness. The subject from previous verse was regarding bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Atavai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeva bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadanim. Previous verse said that the kavayo, the learned people, the transcendentalists, they have been rendering devotional service to the personality of Godhead, Krishna, from time immemorial, with great delight, because devotional service is enlivening to the self. So this verse, now what about this material world? This material world is created, maintained, destroyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but not directly. There are representatives of His who are governing the three modes. So here the topic of Tri-murti comes. The Tri-murti, the three forms, under who Krishna indirectly is connected to the modes. Indirectly, because Krishna has nothing to do with the modes. Nothing to do with management. So the three murtis given here, they create, maintain, and destroy. And there's a common misconception, that the three murti is supreme and that's it. This is mentioned in many parts of the Vedas. The three murti, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Actually, they are controlling Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Creation is done by Brahma, but under order of Vishnu. So creation, that is, he governs the mode of Raja, that is creation. Because to create, one has to be a little bit, Raja means something you have to do, impetus. If you're peaceful, nothing, no desire to satisfy, then we'll not do anything. But Lord Brahma is situated in the mode of passion. He creates. Then it's maintained by Vishnu. And at this time of destruction, Lord Shiva, it says here, performs Tandava Nritya. Performs Tandava Nritya and destroys. So in this way, the three modes are involved. And Krishna is not directly, it says here, is indirectly associated with the three modes. Some people worship this Tri-murti, all three. Some worship one, Brahma. It says here materialists worship Brahma, and it says foolish people worship Lord Shiva, the purport here, and those transcendentalists worship Vishnu. But the verse is saying here, Shreyamsi. Shreya means good, ultimate benefit. Shreyamsi tatra, therein, khalu, of course, sattva, goodness, tano, form, nirna, human beings, you derived. That it says, but the ultimate benefits for the human beings, nirnam, can be derived from worshipping of Vishnu. Worship of Vishnu will give ultimate benefit. To understand this point, why we are saying Tri-murti is there, but out of them Vishnu is the ultimate benefactor, the one to give the benefit. We have to understand how these different Tri-murti personalities appeared, and Krishna. So here from Bhagavad Gita we understand, Bhagavatam, in further on it will be explained in chapter 3, that Krishna is the source of all manifestations, all avatars, all, it says here, integrated and separated forms. Integrated forms are the Vishnu Tattva, expansions who are on the level of God, on the level of Krishna. Separated are those who are Vibhinangsha, separated from Krishna's main energies, main opulences. They have certain opulences, not all. From this purport, we can understand that Krishna first expands to Baladev. Baladev, he is Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. He manages, he serves Krishna and helps in different ways. So, Baladev expands further to the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Niruddha, and Shankarshan. We are familiar with in Ramayana, the four brothers of King Ram's father, Dasharath. Dasharath's four sons are incarnations of the Chaturvyuha, Pradyumna, Niruddha, Vasudeva and Shankarshan. So Krishna first expands to Baladev. From Baladev, the Chaturvyuha comes. Then from the Shankarshan form expands Narayan, Vaikuntha Narayan. He's in Vaikuntha, Narayan. He's worshipped. Narayan further expands into Chaturvyuha again, Pradyumna, Niruddha, Vasudeva and Shankarshan. And from that Shankarshan expands the Purusha avatars who maintain the material world. We can even say create. They create, maintain and destroy. But now, so that's how they came. Now what about the Tri-murti? In the Tri-murti, Vishnu is actually the expansions of the second Chaturvyuha. From Shankarshan expands the Mahavishnu, Karuna-daksha Vishnu, then Garbho-daksha Vishnu and Shiro-daksha Vishnu. So Shiro-daksha Vishnu is the maintainer in the Tri-murti. But we can see how Krishna expanded through all these forms, but he is aloof. The management is done by Shiro-daksha Vishnu. But then how did Brahma and Shiva manifest? Brahma creates on order of Vishnu. So Vishnu is, when it's time to create, Brahma manifests, he gives him, he empowers him, he creates. From Brahma comes Shiva. But we can understand that Ekala Ishwar Krishna are Sabhritya. In this creation, everyone is a servant. Only Krishna is the master. Actually, within this Brahmand, material universe, which has 7 coverings, everyone has a Paramatma, even Shiva, except for Shiro-daksha Vishnu. Everyone has a Paramatma. Everyone is guided, everyone is being somehow serving. So the jivas are all here, but of course Shiva is on a different tattva. He is not a jiva, but he is under Vishnu. And according to that 4th canto Daksha Yagya chapter, the last chapter in that series, Lord Shiva also has Paramatma. Form of Vishnu is in Lord Shiva, giving everything, intelligence, ability. So this Tri-murti, here we can see how Vishnu expanded the expansions of Krishna. Here concludes in Vishnu, Shiro-daksha Vishnu, he is in the Tri-murti, and then Brahma, who manifested from Shiva, from Vishnu, and then Shiva came out of Brahma. So Tri-murti is supreme, but actually it's Vishnu doing everything, and Supreme Personality of Godhead it says actually he expands for the material world's creation, maintenance and destruction. He carries it out through this Tri-murti. People who understand about Tri-murti can understand, okay, Brahma is the main creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, Shiva is the destroyer. But they also understand that if they want material things, they can pray to Brahma. Those who cannot understand this creation and purpose, they'll surrender to the other members of the Tri-murti. But this verse is saying here, because as we mentioned in the beginning of Bhagavatam, that it says dharma projita kaitava. Kaitava dharma, that is cheating religion, is rejected here. So those who worship Tri-murti, they do so due to not understanding the ultimate goal of this material world and spiritual world, and understanding the creator, who it's from. So those who understand that it's Krishna, they surrender to Krishna. This material world, as it's mentioned here, it is a jail, and the living entities are brought here and they're changing their body because they have a desire to lord it over material nature. So they're changing their bodies constantly in the material world. Only Vishnu is not. He will not change. So those who don't understand this material world and try to just get some temporary comfort, they'll surrender to Brahma or to Shiva. They cannot understand. So they'll surrender to these different personalities. And those who, that is like we're in the jail and we want some benefit in the jail. But if you want to get out of the jail, the only option is Vishnu. Vishnum vinam mrityum na taranti. Without worship of Vishnu, we cannot conquer the birth and death. So the ultimate benefit is surrender to Vishnu. Vishnu is not under the modes of nature. Apashyatam purusham purna mayam chatadapashrayam. Vyasadeva, when he was in meditation, saw Maya under the shelter of Vishnu. When Krishna in Bhagavad Gita explains about the modes of nature and karma, he explains, Name karmani limpanti name karma phale spirha. All the living entities in this world who came with the desire to lord it over this material world, they have every action they do in this material world is because of some outcome they want. This is technical words for sense enjoyment, fruitive activity. Krishna says, Name karma phale spirha. I don't endeavor for the fruits of the action. He doesn't need to do actions to enjoy. He's always enjoying. He's Atma Rama. He's always in bliss. But we have to endeavor for that bliss in this material world. But Krishna makes it, when he explains about the concept of karma, he says, Name karma phale spirha, name karmani limpanti. I don't aspire for the fruits. We do all actions because we want the fruit, we want some benefit from it. And name karmani limpanti. Krishna says, karma does not affect me. Karma affects us in the sense that we become bound, we become covered. This is the effect of karma. Bhuta bhavod bhava karma visarga karma samgitaha. Krishna defines karma as an action which leads to generation of another material body. Karma affects us. If I do sense gratification, if I try in this material world to manipulate it for my enjoyment, I'll be affected. My consciousness will become covered. I'll become further bound to this body. I have a subtle body, and the soul is bound in the subtle body. And every karmic action I do, it gets bound tighter and tighter, and the material, spiritual consciousness is covered more and more and more. I cannot see who I am. But that is not Krishna's position. Krishna is not affected. So those who understand the science of God, science of Krishna, they can understand about these expansions. And so when we understand about the expansions, then we understand that in the Tri-murti, Vishnu is not under those modes. He's beyond this material world. Narayana Paro Vyakta. Shankaracharya has written in his purport to the first verse of Bhagavad Gita that Narayana is beyond this. Avyakta means the material nature which is unmanifest. When it's unmanifest, it takes form of Pradhan. Mahattatva. Then when it manifests, the creation comes out of it. So all of the ingredients, our body, everything of this material world, ingredients are in that substance. Of course, the soul is not. But anyway, so the demigods also, their bodies, everything is part of this material world. Originally we're not, but at present world we are stuck in the material world. But Shankaracharya prays, Narayana Paro Avyakta. Narayana is beyond this material substance. He is not from here. So those who understand properly about who is Vishnu, that he is expansion of Krishna through these expansions, and that he is not under the modes, he doesn't get affected, they should take shelter of Krishna. So within the Tri-murti, that's represented by Vishnu. Vishnu is beyond the material world, and so when one takes shelter of him, they also become beyond this material world. But those who want a temporary benefit, surrender to the demigods, the devatas. Brahma and Shiva are not eternal. When this material world is destroyed, Shirodakshai Vishnu is not going to be affected. Neither will the pure souls. And whatever benefit we got from demigod, that will be finished. Therefore in Bhagavad Gita it said, Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpa medasam. Those who are less intelligent, they worship demigods and they get a temporary result. Antavat. It's not eternal. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpa medasam. Less intelligent people surrender to materialistic being like them who will not give a permanent result. Devan deva yajo yanti maktim yanti mamati. They are Krishnas. Because Tri-murti, some say we can worship any of them, all of them. But Bhagavad Gita says, Devan deva yajo yanti. So whoever we worship, we'll go to them. Mad bhaktim yanti mamapi. But mad bhaktim yanti mamapi. Krishna says, my devotee will come to me. Elsewhere, kamastaistir hritya jnana. Those who have lost their knowledge due to lust, desire to enjoy this material world. Because when we get into that mode of enjoyment, we lose the intelligence. Intelligence gets covered due to extreme material desires, so we cannot think clearly. So one who's too much planning for sense gratification, then his intelligence gets covered. When their knowledge is stolen by this lust, then they surrender to other devatas. Prapatente anya devata. Tam tam niyamamastaya prakrita niyata svaya. They surrender to a particular demigod according to their mode of nature. Everyone will have a particular kind of nature and they'll surrender to that demigod, that devata. So supposing someone wants to live a certain way and he says, oh, I like to this, drink and eat this, like this. So then they'll select that particular personality to worship because that mode of worship is appealing. And we can take this also to, one may see non-Vedic religious systems in the world today. Same thing. That when somebody is following a particular faith, religious system, but he develops other habits, other guna, then he cannot follow that. Then other things appeal to him. So then he begins to follow another system. So according to our mode, we'll choose that. Now many people have idea of Tri-murti, and but not a proper idea. The proper idea is this, that actually Krishna is in charge of this material world and he is indirectly connected to the modes. It says indirectly because Krishna has nothing to do directly. Through these modes, they are all under him. The modes of nature and the Tri-murti are all functioning under him. For getting permanent benefit, Shreyangsi. Shreya means good, permanent benefit. And Preya means temporary benefit. So Shreyangsi, for getting permanent benefit, ultimate benefit, Tatra, one has to surrender to Vishnu, because Vishnu within the Tri-murti is in Shuddha Sattva, is beyond the material world. So if we surrender to him, whatever result we get will be permanent, won't be temporary. In the purport it's explained, for better, it's different in the computer and in the book. Okay, so Lord Vishnu is worshipped by devotional service only. If anyone has to continue present life in the material world, they'll surrender to the other devatas. But for crossing over and coming out of the prison, only worship of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita being directed to devotional service directly, the ultimate benefit, has introduced this topic now of the Tri-murti and clearly explaining they are not the same. Vishnu is the actual controller in the material world, functioning through these personalities. No demigod can release imprisoned living entity from this material world. Ultimate benefit means come out of the material world. So for that, worship of Vishnu. And first, before Shuddha Sattva, Sattva, come to the Sattvic stage. Worship of Vishnu is within Sattvic stage. Although the worshippers are transcendental, but when we function in the material world, we function on the Sattvic platform. Ultimately, with the aim to leave this material world. Only possible to worship of Vishnu. Hare Krishna. Any question? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.